What's up, guys? So I did a little more work on the map today than last night. Updated the navigation mesh. Don't really remember where I left off with you guys. I think I was mowing or something. Anyways, updated the navigation mesh for the cow pasture. Starting to put in all the fencing. That seems to be working. Started adding some gates as well. Haven't finished the fencing completely. I'm about 80% on the fencing, but gates are working. So that's nice. I had the animal triggers over. Need to work on getting some new barns built for this place. Definitely a new dairy barn. Anyways, I purchased the Lily hay tedder, and it did my 2 hay fields that were remaining that I mowed. I did that off camera for you guys. Got the placeable grain bin where the bin is on the real farm. Also picked up two little grain wagons. Anyways, we're gonna buzz on down to the field and swath our hay. It's a really cloudy, dark, gloomy morning, but the map is saying it's supposed to be super sunny out. I think once I finish this farm, I'm going to start working on some of these static farms that are just kind of decoration. So none of the buildings are floating in the air anymore. So for this, I forget what the working width is on it. Is it 8.0? Alright. So I'm going to do the headlands last with this field. I bumped up the clip distance on some of these trees and shrubs that are painted foliage layers, so it looks a little bit nicer now. Before, for whatever reason, the clip distance was only like 70. So you really couldn't see the bushes and shrubs in the distance very much, but changed it, looks quite a bit better now. We are in the 4755. Pretty big 4-wheel drive tractor to be raking hay with, but still need to get a mixer wagon for feed, as well as I'm not sure if we can take that corner, as well as a manure spreader, I believe. Really like to get a grain truck like a older tandem axle grain truck for driving corn to the sell point and stuff. I guess you could drive a tractor with those double wagons into town, but the sell point's probably close to 4 or 5 miles away. So that's a long ways to drive a tractor with loaded with grain on those carts. So this actually didn't take very long to mow with the Moco. Thought it would take a little bit longer, but the field's not that big. I think it might be 10 acres, roughly. I'm to the point where I'm kind of getting sick of working on this map because I've been pretty much working on it for the last month and a half. Haven't really been messing around with anything else. So I'm to the point where I'm starting some other modding projects just to change things up a bit. So map progress is going to slow down as I work on these other projects, but I feel like these swaths aren't really working. I might have to do a little bit of adjusting on my rake here. I don't know, the other field it worked fine, but that was with just grass. I think doing hay work is a little, in my opinion, it's a little more fun than your typical crop farming tasks in game. Crop farming can be fun, but it gets boring after a while where there's a lot you can do with hay. You gotta mow it, ted it, rake it, then bale it. Or you can chop it. Gonna make some haylage, which is a whole different process. I know in Cole's map he had a fermenting silo set up, so I don't really like the silage bunkers. Most of the farms they put everything into the silos, so probably get that set up so I can put if I'm gonna make any kind of silage will be through the Harvestone silos. Yeah, these couple of these swaths aren't looking too good. So this is a 17 wheel rake. I think it's the biggest one Frontier makes. Actually, I think they make one that's a little bit wider. I think they might make like a 19 rake model. It's a different design. It's not this kind of hydraulic. The other one has kind of like a scissor. What you would think of as a traditional rake. This design's a little more simple. Definitely easier to script and model. Main reason why I made it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bale this field or if I'm going to chop it. I don't have a chopper yet. So I'd have to rent one, and it's really too small of a field to even rent a chopper for. And I don't have any wagons, any kind of forge wagons or anything like that for it, so I'll probably end up just baling this, get some nice hay bales. I know there's some less than ideal pull type choppers out there, you know, some pretty hodgepodge modeling, but might have to bite the bullet and use one of those. Anyways, hopefully you guys are getting a long weekend like myself. Tomorrow's the 4th. If you have dogs, may they be successful in finding a hiding place. Our first, we've always had golden retrievers, and I remember when I was a kid, our first golden was scared to death of anything loud like lightning and fireworks, so. I always try to hide in the bathroom. Dog logic. I've been getting a lot of comments since I've been using some of these older tractors, like, The reason why I never really used any of the old stuff is because none of it's really well made for like modeling. Like they're just not very good mods, so it's pretty much the main reason why I've really put off using any kind of older pieces of equipment. So I don't have anything against older equipment, it's just like for the game purposes they just happen to be poor models compared to, you know, most of the stuff that's out there. You know, like Giants models, for example, they're all new equipment and they're all well done. Most of the old pieces of equipment are all made by users, except for now they made the older Case IH combine and some older tractors, but for the most part they're still is pretty slim pickings out there for decent vintage equipment. And another thing, like when you're, you know, the older equipment's typically smaller. In this game, the way they have the number block system, it just doesn't work that great with smaller scale implements. You know, when you're starting to go below 3 meter working with, stuff just doesn't act the way it should. The game just doesn't like, you know, if you're trying to use like a 2 or 3 row pull type corn chopper, you know, I try to take 3 or 2 rows at a time. Like the game just doesn't like that kind of stuff. I personally like the small to medium size farming. I'd love to like be one of the big guys, but I just think like the small scale farming is a little more intimate, a little more easy to maintain and manage, and has a little bit more personality to it. I don't know what the deal is with these swaths, but should I do these headland? Yeah, might as well. I'm not sure if it's my rate. It's probably the tractor that has a turning rotation limit on it. One thing I would like to see, but I'm not sure. I mean, it has to be possible based on the number of scripts that are around today. To have like the manure cleaning from the dairy barns, and you can just like park a spreader wagon underneath the conveyor and it will fill up your spreader instead of having to shovel everything in. Anyways, that's our big hay field. Took all of 20 minutes, not even, to rake up. So I actually looked a little bit at this farm right here that's floating in the air. It's actually it's a horse. They have horses there, so I have to put some static horses. Do I watch how farmers works? Yes, I do. And Travis's channel as well. So, the moment of truth, I don't know if these gates are actually big enough to fit a tractor through, so I guess we will find out. Oh, I'm gonna turn my speed camera down. So these gates aren't quite 3 meters. Actually, I think they might be 4 meters. Could be wrong though. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of room. So I have 60 dairy cows. Only 25 show up. I was reading some threads. If there was a way to increase the number of visible animals, and I think in 13 there was. I think this gate might be a little smaller. Kind of awkward if I can't get through here. I imagine I should be able to sneak through here. Ooh, it's gonna be close. That's a little too close. She fits though. So the field on the other side of these woods, I just raked and baled, and it was just grass bales. So ended up tedding these 2 fields, and hopefully when I bale it, it turns to hay instead of grass. The gates and all doors and functions work via XML. In the user attributes, you'll see that it's referencing a script, and then you gotta sync up the script location in order to get your animations to work properly. 69 people watching. My headphones died, so I had to plug those things back in. What am I doing for the 4th? I actually plan on just cleaning my apartment, really, and not doing much else. I live in Boston, so it's best to avoid going outside because it's crazy amount of people that are out and about. But my apartment, I have a pretty decent view looking out west. Nice big windows and everything like that, so I'll be able to see the fireworks just fine, and I won't even have to leave. It's actually pretty interesting living in Boston during the 4th. They really go all out, and it being such a historic city, it's there's a lot of events that they do this whole week, and there's an old ship that they always bring out. Old Ironsides, I guess it's called. There's actually no iron. It's a different kind of oak wood. It's a really hard oak, I guess, that was very rare for ships to be made out of it, and its day, and it literally, like, the other ships' cannonballs would just bounce right off of it. And they also plated it with copper to help with sea urchins or whatever kind of sea creatures erode the wood. But I've seen that a few times, and fireworks, of all the fireworks I've seen, I would say these are pretty impressive. It's my favorite holiday. When I was a kid, it was definitely Christmas. I'm not really sure if I have a favorite holiday now. I like all holidays that I don't have to go and work. The downside with these rakes is you have very little control over everything, where like the mergers, you can place your swaths wherever you want, raise your pickups. It's gonna be interesting. Do this last little pass with the GPS. Alright, so we don't have that many acres to hay, but it's gonna be sketchy so close to the fence. Someone's asking how far from Boston's Children's Hospital. I've never heard of it, so I don't know, but I'm assuming pretty close. The only children's hospital I'm aware of is the one we refer patients to. That's Franciscan's Children's Hospital. Alright, so I think we're done with the rake for a while. I think what I might do is actually start this save game over with and see if I can install the Seasons mod, because I'm interested in using that on this map and curious if it would even work with the 16X. We're definitely gonna have to change tractors because I'm not fitting this dual wheel beast through those gates, so might as well park this thing over by the fuel tank for now. TD Gardens, that's more in the north part by Mass General. Alright, what am I doing? Yeah, I gotta pick up. This is the baler. Oh, I downloaded this Farm King auger, and I mean it works with the bins and everything, but I believe it's supposed to be a 13-inch, 95 foot. And I know when Mike made this, I actually measured this out in Blender. It's actually exactly 12 inches in diameter and 72 foot. And this thing is like at least 16 inches in diameter. So It reaches, but I think it reaches because it's slightly out of scale. So what does the red thing mean? In the drive control menu. Not really sure what that means. I know I'm missing my PTO shaft. I need to script that thing in. So we're gonna buzz down the road again, bale up our hay. Wow, I just looked at how many people are watching. There's 82 people watching, so I usually don't get that many. Well, I usually don't stream. I feel like I've only streamed like once a month for the past couple months, so. I forgot to add the bale counter mod, and I really wanted to keep track of that, but oh well. Alright, we're making hay. No more grass. Mission accomplished. Someone was asking earlier if this baler's public. The model was actually by Polygonish, but I think he took a lot of his John Deere stuff down, so I don't know if you can buy the model anymore. But technically the model was public, you could buy it. Okay, I clearly have a texture issue. Oh man. Failed to open XML silage bale shader. So clearly in my whatever, that's an easy fix. Farmer's Touch. Oh, this is what button did I just press? What did I press to bring up the... I don't remember what I pushed to bring up the game extension menu. Because it's not in my menu. Whatever, I'm gonna keep baling these funky looking bales and I'll just go back and change the shader when I'm done. Actually, I might do that now because it's been about 40 minutes, and I'll come back and stream it after it's fixed. Should be an easy fix. It's just I'm missing my silage shader XML. So I'm gonna do that. I'm going to end the stream for a bit, fix that shader issue, and then I'll be back. So see you guys in 10 minutes.